right. Today we're exploring the Great Flood, an iconic Bible story. Luke touches on it, but Genesis gives us the core details, right?
Absolutely. Such a foundational narrative. Everyone knows Noah's Ark, but we often overlook key specifics. What's our initial focus, James?
Our focus is God's direct command to Noah. The Lord says, "Come into the ark, you and your household, because I've seen you are righteous before me in this generation." A clear endorsement. Noah, you're the one. You're righteous. That's central.
So it's not just the task, but Noah's character. That's fascinating, explaining why he was chosen. Not random, but specifically called out for his righteousness. Powerful.
Precisely. Then the instructions get super specific. 7 clean animals, male and female, 2 unclean, and 7 birds. A detailed system to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. Very precise.
Okay, so he's righteous, he gets these very specific instructions for the animals. That's a lot to manage, though. I mean, collecting all those animals. How much time did he have for all of this preparation?
Well, the text tells us a fascinating detail, Emma. It says, "For after 7 more days, I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Just 7 days. Think about it. All that build-up, all the work on the ark, and then a final incredibly short countdown for the actual event. Noah had to, really make sure everything was ready, sealed, and everyone was inside.
7 days? Oh my goodness, that's like a week. That's not a lot of lead time, is it? To get like his entire family, all these animals, organized and settled? That's intense. And Noah, he just did it?
He did. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. No arguments, no, are you sure about these clean and unclean numbers, God? Just obedience. And he was 600 years old when the floodwaters were on the earth, which is, well, a mind-boggling age for us now, isn't it? But it just highlights his enduring faithfulness, I think.
600 years old. Wow. So a really old, really faithful man. Just getting on with it. So then the actual entering of the ark, like what was that like? Did they just kind of walk right in?
Pretty much. So Noah with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. And then the animals, 2 by 2, they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded. It wasn't Noah corralling them all. It implies a divinely guided procession, which is, quite a scene to imagine. So those 7 days pass, right? And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. And then it really describes it. It says, "In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened." It wasn't just rain from the sky, Emma.
Oh, that's a detail I always kind of skim over. The fountains of the great deep. That's not just like a heavy downpour, is it? That sounds, like water coming up from everywhere, like the ground itself was just erupting.
Exactly. It implies geological upheaval alongside the atmospheric deluge. So you've got the sky pouring down and the earth just, sort of bursting open from underneath. It's a total inundation, And it was relentless. And the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Not just a storm, a sustained worldwide event.
40 days and 40 nights? Wow, that's over a month of nonstop rain, combined with, the earth splitting open. That's terrifying, really. I can't even imagine being outside in something like that. But inside the ark, they were all, safe, right?
Indeed. On the very same day, Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. And importantly, they and every beast after its kind, and every bird of every sort, everything that was supposed to be in there, was in there. And the really poignant bit, the Lord himself shut him in, like God sealed them in personally.
The Lord shut him in. That's so comforting, but also kind of chilling because it emphasizes the finality of it all. So the rain goes for 40 days, but the flood itself, the water levels,
How long did that last? How high did it get?
Well, the flood was on the earth for 40 days, yeah, but the waters kept increasing. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. This wasn't just a puddle, it was a rising tide that completely altered the landscape. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. It became a vast ocean, really.
Wow. So it was floating freely. That's kind of wild to think about. How high did it actually go, though? Like above the land? Were mountains covered too?
Absolutely, Emma. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. And it gets even more specific. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. A cubit is roughly 18 inches, so that's like 22 feet above the highest mountains. That's, absolutely staggering when you picture it. Every single peak, everywhere, was submerged. There was no dry land visible anywhere, just water.
22 feet above the mountains? That's insane. It's truly a global event then, isn't it? Not just like a regional thing. Like the whole entire world was just one big ocean. That's really hard to wrap your head around, honestly.
It is, isn't it? And that brings us to the very somber consequence of such a flood. The text doesn't shy away from it. It says, "And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man." It was some, total annihilation outside of the ark, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life. All that was on the dry land died.
Oh, that's really stark. It's not just like most things, it's all flesh. Every single living thing that breathed outside of that ark. So like the destruction was absolute. It's a sobering thought, really. But Noah and his family, they were safe, right? Like they were the only ones who made it through?
Exactly. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. It really hammers home that point, doesn't it? The singular focus on their survival as everyone and everything else perished. It underscores the importance of Noah's righteousness and God's promise.
Only Noah and those with him. That's incredible. And the waters, they didn't just recede right away after the 40 days of rain stopped, did they? Like it took a while for things to go back to, anything approaching normal.
No, not at all. The rain stopped, but the waters, they persisted. And the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. So after the 40 days of deluge, there was still like another 110 days of just water. A vast global ocean with the ark floating on it. That's a truly, truly immense period of time for the planet to be completely submerged. Imagine that feeling of isolation, just seeing water for that long.
After months of global submersion, we read that God remembered Noah. This pivotal moment shows God faithfully brings his people through crisis, even when healing feels slow. The waters began to subside, a gradual process of guided restoration.
That gradual healing and God's remembrance are vital. It calls us to trust during waiting seasons, knowing restoration is slow, guided by his hand.
Exactly. The ark eventually rested on the mountains of Ararat. When Noah stepped onto dry ground, his first response was worship, showing deep gratitude after hardship. God then reassured humanity, promising the ongoing rhythm of seasons and stability, signaling restoration, not judgment.
A powerful message of hope, James. God remembers and brings us through, encouraging perseverance and faith. It reminds us to respond with gratitude when restoration begins, even after life's greatest storms.